at you, yeah. All right, are we ready to have some fun here? We're going to get some funny people up here, all right? We got a really special guest for you tonight. He comes all the way from Goodview, Minnesota. Some of you probably know him. He's great. He's a great comedian. Please give a warm welcome to Andy Kurtzman!
Keep it going for Tim. All right. That's right. I'm from right here in Winona. My name might sound familiar if you guys read the Winona Daily News police blotter between the years 2003 and 2006. Went through a stretch. But I have a younger brother, Jack, and we both got in a little bit of trouble when we were kids. But the biggest difference is Jack would go to my parents right away and he would confess and own up to it. And I would just try and hide it as long as possible and cover it up and hope they didn't read about it in the newspaper. But they always did. My mom and dad are here tonight. My parents are celebrating their 43rd wedding anniversary next week. Yep. They might seem young and hip, but they're a little bit out of date. Like my parents and my brother and I, we all have a joint cell phone account together. And so when it comes time to pay the bill at the end of the month, my brother will send me his share on Venmo. And then I have to go to the bank and take the cash out and take it over to my parents' house, give it to them. And then they take the cash, they go and deposit it at the same bank. Then they go home and they take this thing called a checkbook and they write out a check for the cell phone bill. And then this guy comes to pick it up on horseback. It's quite the process. And I told him, I'm like, Mom, Dad, let's set you up with a Venmo account. And Jack and I can each send you our share of the bill. And then you can go right on your phone, you can pay the bill right there. And my mom said, no, it's easier this way. Easier for who? Heaven forbid they get locked out of one of their accounts, because my parents, instead of making one password for every one of their online accounts or everything they set up, they have a book of passwords. It's like if the Bible had an extra testament, that's how big it is. And of course, nothing's in alphabetical order, it's just completely random. I was like, why don't you guys just use one password for everything? My mom is like, no, it would be easy for someone to figure that out. It's like, yeah, you! It would be easy for you to figure it out. I was at the dog park earlier today. Yeah, the dogs are sometimes awkward around each other at the dog park, but the people are always awkward around each other. It's like the dogs are running around having fun. We're like, what are we supposed to do? Should we interact? I'm not beyond sniffing a couple assholes to break the tension. But everyone always asks me the same question at the dog park. They're like, aw, what's your dog's name? Which is really nice, but no one ever has asked me what my name was. Never once. My dog's name is Nesta, and I was taking Nesta for a walk recently, and he was taking a shit, but he was struggling. And I mean, let's be honest, we've all been there, right? And when I was a little kid, me and my brother were kids, he was in the bathroom, and he was in there moaning and groaning, and my mom asked, she's like, Jack, is everything okay in there? And he yelled back, no, I think it's a square one. You guys have a moment to visualize that. Is anyone eating tonight? So I was taking Vanessa for a walk, and he was doing that thing where the dogs will do the poop squat, and they walk around that way for a while. And I looked, and there was a string hanging out of his little butthole. Yeah, so I did what any good dog owner would do. I grabbed on, and I started pulling. And it kept coming, kept coming. Finally, it started getting a little bit tighter. All of a sudden, it came came popping out of there like a cork out of a wine bottle. Yeah, it was equal parts disgusting and satisfying. But Nesta is, of course, relieved, and he takes off running, and I'm standing there holding this dangling piece of dog shit covered stuffed animal I just paid $25 for on Amazon a week ago. So I love my dog. I'm a single guy, and I've been doing the dating apps, and traditionally I haven't had like a lot of luck with online dating. But after I got Nesta, I put him in all of my dating profile pictures, right? And my matches went up 300%. Yeah, from 1 to 3. I crunched the numbers, 300%. And I met one girl recently, or I matched with her. I didn't even meet her, but I matched with her, and her profile said that she was in an E&M relationship. So I wasn't even sure what that meant. So I Google Chromed it, and E&M stands for ethical non-monogamous. So non-monogamous in her case, meaning she's married, but she also sleeps with other people. And ethical is a word they put in front to make themselves feel better about it. I'm not here to judge, to each their own, but I guess I'm just looking for like a more traditional relationship, where we could just cheat on her husband behind his back. Make me feel much better about things. I did meet another girl on the apps, and things were going well with her. And we were on our second or third date, and we ended up back at my place. Now, I have one of those sleep number beds where you can adjust the setting of your mattress. And so we're laying there, and things were getting kind of hot and heavy. She's kind of hot and kind of heavy. Well, out of the blue, she asks me, "So what's your number?" Now, it was the heat of the moment. I wasn't thinking clearly. I thought she was asking me about my mattress. And so I said, 55, 60. I like it nice and firm. But we got done, and she was like, "Oh my God, that was the best I ever had." And I said, "Really? What's your number?" She said, 1. Like, yeah, that makes sense. But we got some great comedians coming up tonight, so I'll leave you guys with this one. I was doing a show in Rochester recently, and the host had a camera set up backstage, and he was doing free headshots for all the comics. And I was like, "Oh, great, I'll take advantage." So I went up there, and he asked, "Have you ever done these before?" I said, "Yeah, I know the drill." So I stood there, and I got my picture taken, and then I turned to the right, turned back to the left. Those are the ones I've done before, between the years 2003 and 2006. He was really thrown off when I bent over and started coughing. And look, there was a string hanging out of my asshole. So not this shit again. All right, thank you guys. I'm Andy Kurtz. Enjoy the rest of the night.